Hi everybody and welcome to my latest video. If you watched my video, I think it was last week or week before, we did a review of the John Lennon solo albums from 1969 to 1980. And one of the albums, well, a couple of the albums that we talked about was experimental albums, and why they cost so much money now. On that video, I did actually show that I'd got a reissue of Two Virgins, and also had a reissue of the Wedding album. But the one I'm going to look at today is this album. I'm going to unbox a reissue of it. This is my original American pressing from 1969, and I think I actually paid something like, well, I know what I paid. I paid £55 for this, but that was, quite a few years ago. So I was thinking, well, I wonder what you get in the issue, because the issue of Two Virgins, you got a few little extras, didn't you? So went on into web and I found a copy, and I think with the postage it was £19.99, something like that. It wasn't a great deal of money. I mean, postage might even have been free, I think. So we're going to unbox that today, and then we can compare them. Like I say, that is my original copy. This is an original American pressing. It's not the British one. The British one is like rocking all shit, to be honest. It's very, very expensive. So we're going to see if it is worth getting the reissues, just if you want them just for complete's sake, but you don't want to spend a lot of money. So please bear with me. Thank you for joining me, and we'll have a look. So this is how it came. So I haven't opened it yet. I think it came on, what day are we today? Well, I've lost track of time because we've got a couple of like bank holidays in the UK to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee, Diamond Jubilee, Platinum Jubilee. Bear with us 1 second. The first thing I've got to say is this has been with masking tape. We've got no problem with, but it's just a sod to get into. Just bear with us 1 minute. I think I might have to use my knife. I think this actually came on Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll say Friday today. But, yeah, packaged very well. So far, so good. Nice sturdy package. Cardboard on both sides to protect the record. So here we have it. John Lennon, Yoko Ono, Unfinished Music, #2, Life with the Lions. 1969 follow-up to Two Virgins. That's what it says on there. So looking at it, it is very faithful to the original cover. No comment, George Martin. Unfinished Music, #2, Life with the Lions, John Lennon, Yoko Ono, made in Merry England, November 1968. So far, so good. It has got shrink wrap on it, so we'll see if I can get in without disturbing the wrap. There is 1 sec. I think I've done it. So I don't know if this is on coloured vinyl or anything, so just bear with us, folks. You'll have to excuse me, because every now and again I will have to keep doing things on this because the computer keeps sending me stupid messages. At least it is working stable. I hope it is. You're getting this fine. So I've just broken the seal there, so we can have a look what's inside it. Oh, let's have a look. First off, we get a poster. I think it's a poster. Hey, that's nice. War is over if you want it. Live in peace from John and Yoko. Didn't know we got that in it, so that's a nice little surprise. What else do we get? And we get la-di-da-di-da, da-da-di-da. Oh, get a little booklet. I'm sure she is. John, unfinished music number 2, Life of the Lions, John Lennon, Yoko Ono. So it's Cambridge 1969, which goes on for 28 minutes. Sorry, 26 minutes, 28 seconds. No Bed for Beatles, John, 4 minutes, 40 seconds. Baby's Heartbeat, which goes on for 5 minutes and 9 seconds. 2 minute silence, which is a silent track, which goes on for 2 minutes. And then Radio Play. So that's nice to have. That is the original cover, isn't it? That's what that cover's taken from. I don't know if there's anything else worth looking at. Got bits from his bedding as well, so or their bedding, should I say. Nice to have, isn't it? Actually, I'm not quite sure who that woman is at the back. Yeah, pretty. Something I wasn't expecting, because I didn't go on to any reviews of this reissue. I thought I'm going to get it so I can look at it with an open mind. So I wasn't sure what you got with it, or if you just got the bog standard LP like some of them do. I think there's something else as well. See, this was in the reissue of Two Virgins, wasn't it? A Hole to See the Sky Through. Although this one does say unfinished music number 2, Life of the Lions, John Lennon, Yoko Ono. Thank you for your purchase. Use the code. It's download code, isn't it? A Hole to See the Sky Through, Yoko Ono 71. But that is in the reissue of Two Virgins. So the third one is basically Cambridge, 1969. So it's performed by Yoko Ono vocals and John Lennon guitar with Mel Evans, watch, and 2 Johns. John Ticknell, saxophone, and John Stevens, percussion, who emerged at the end of the piece. And it was recorded live. Let me just put my granddad specs on. At least getting a little bit of info now, aren't you? Recorded live at Lady Mitchell Hall, Cambridge, London, on March the 2nd, 1969, with thanks to Anthony Barnett, the producer of A Natural Music Nothing Doing in London concert. And side 2 is, so that, although it's like a live piece, I think it's just like experimental music from what I can remember. And that is actually credited to Lennon and Ono, and it's published by McLen Music. Side 2 is No Bed for Beatles, John, Lennon, Ono. Baby's Heartbeat, Lennon, Ono. 2 minutes silence, Lennon, Ono. And Radio Play, Lennon, Ono. The side 2 is published by Apple Music Publishing. It's a bit strange, isn't it? Of course, when this was originally released in 1969, it was on the short-lived Zapple label, which only ever released 2 albums, didn't it? This one and George's Electronic Sounds LP. And it says recorded on a cassette at Queen Charlotte Hospital, 2nd West Ward, Room 1, London, England, 4th to the 25th of November, 1968. And that side is just blank. So like I said, I'm not sure if this is on coloured vinyl. No, it's not. That's not coloured vinyl. Not coloured vinyl. And like the Two Virgins one, it's on an orange label instead of an apple label. It is nice though. So that is side 1. And that is side 2. So obviously this is mint. And you just see me unbox it and unwrap it, but it's actually got dust on it already. It's actually got some dust on it, just there, look. You see it? There, look. Which is a bit strange, isn't it, saying it's supposed to be sealed and everything. I can't tell you what the sound quality is on it because I haven't played it. Now, for me, because you get little goodies with it as well, And to be honest, this isn't a record that you'll be playing much at all. In fact, if I remember rightly, when I played my original copy, that one, I think my dog went mad. I'm sure it's that one. So yeah, all in all, I am quite happy. I'm happy what I paid for it. £20. I think it was £20 and free postage and packaging, or not? No, £19.99 it was. So, what would you do if you're completist like me, or Beatles fanatic, and you haven't got these? What would you do? Would you sort out an original UK copy, which I probably still will at one point, but I won't pay silly money for it. I mean, there's a couple on eBay this morning, and like one of them's like £175. Now, yes, I have paid that sort of money for records before. Don't get me wrong, but would I pay £175 for a record that you hardly ever going to play? You'd probably play this once, and that'll be it. That copy I've got there, I'd be surprised if I've actually played that more than a handful of times. You know, a handful of times in all the years I've owned it. Yeah, the original catalogue. The only difference is you don't get a catalogue, but you don't get the Zapple bit, do you? On that, the rest of it is really nice. They've done, you know, they have done a really good job of it. So for £20 or £25, I think, you know, I think I was lucky. I just saw this, and that's what I paid. Was, and I know it was £19.99, and like I say, that was with free postage and packaging, and it came within a couple of days of me ordering it as well. But you know, you do get a couple of goodies with it, don't you, which you wouldn't get in the original one anyway. You know, the booklet, yeah, it's nice to have, but once you've like looked at it, you've looked at it, haven't you, sort of thing. And that was in. There's one of them in the reissue of Two Virgins. But I do like that. I must admit, I do like that. War is Over poster. So if you haven't got this, if you're just a casual John Lennon fan, put like that, if you're not a die-hard fanatic like me, but you're thinking of getting, you know, or you think, oh yeah, I would like to buy the 3 experimental albums, by all means, if you've got the hundreds of pounds which it would probably cost you to get the 3 albums UK pressings, which is Two Virgins, which is you're going to be talking £200 at least for an original UK pressing. This one, which I've said today, you know, there's one of these on eBay, an original UK pressing, £175. And to be honest with it, it doesn't even look in that good a condition. And then there is the wedding album. Now, the one I would highly recommend you get is the wedding album, just for the packaging. Again, you can pick them up. Original UK pressings usually go around the £400 mark now. I have got two Japanese versions on Odeon, and I have actually got a reissue, which is still sealed. But I have actually ordered another reissue, and we will be doing an unboxing of that when that comes, to see what goodies we do get in that. So yeah, on this occasion, I would say, unless you are, like I say, a die-hard Beatles fan, and you've got, you know, a few £100 that, you know, you're burning a hole in your pocket, if you wanted to get these, I would actually go for that one. I would go for that. Sometimes you can still pick them up for about £50 or £60. Don't get me wrong, the American pressings, but like I say, for the original UK one, you're going to be talking best part £200. £100 for record that you know, you probably only ever play this once, aren't you? In all honesty, and that's no disrespect to John or Yoko, because I know it was the sort of thing that was going through at the time. And you know, you've got to remember they are experimental albums, so there's no proper music as such on them. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So yes, I would recommend that if you haven't got it and you don't want to spend a fortune, yes, go out and buy the reissues if you can find them cheap enough. Like I say, that was 19.99, and I think there's a couple on there for like 20, 25 pound, things like that. So that, you know, you haven't got to spend earth to get a copy of them, have you? And the thing is, if you do buy one of them and you think, well, yeah, you know, I would like the original American pressing or the original UK pressing, then at least you know what you're going to get, don't you? It's not like going out and spending £200 on an LP and playing it thinking, fucking hell, what have I bought that for? Which I have done. I have done, to be honest. I've done that before. So it's, you know, if you just want to test the water sort of thing and get the, you know, get the reissues, you're not missing anything. It's exactly the same experimental music as the original pressings. And in the case of that and two virgins, you do get a couple of extras which you wouldn't have got in the originals anyway. Just bear with 1 minute, folks. So, you know, that is a cheap way for you to get the experimental albums by John and Yoko into your collection. The other two that I would try and recommend you to get is George's Wonderwall music. Again, you can pick up cheapest copies of that. No, the reissues for that do seem to go for stupid money at the minute. Original UK pressings are quite expensive for that. Again, you're probably talking 100, maybe £200. But you can like get French pressings and stuff like that from the 1970s for around the 25, £35 mark. And they are good because it is proper music on it. And the other one to look out for is the sister album to that, which was originally released on Zapple, which is George's Electronic Sounds. Again, that is one for the completists because I nearly dropped a clanger. I was looking at buying an original copy of that, and it was something like £150. This was a couple of years ago, don't get me wrong, because I hadn't got it in my collection. So I was about to press the buy button, or buy it now, or whatever it was, and then I saw a reissue. And this is what I'm saying to you: if you're not 100% sure, and you can afford to buy the reissue, and you're not paying stupid money, and you're not like sure what you're going to get, buy the reissue first. So I bought a reissue of Electronic Sounds, and I think I paid something like £25 for it. And all I'll say is I'm glad I didn't buy the original UK pressing for £150 because, to be honest, again, it is one of them records. No disrespect, it's not something you're going to play more than probably half a dozen times, if that, to be honest. So yeah, that's been a bit of information for you. Here in the UK, we are on what they're calling it a long bank holiday, a 4-day bank holiday, but I'm at work tomorrow. It's been a bit stupid. I was on my long weekend last weekend, so I went into work Wednesday. I had yesterday and today off, back in tomorrow, and then I'm off Sunday. But, I don't know. Just celebrate Her Majesty's long reign. That's all I'll say on that. Long may she reign over us. I'm not a particularly big fan of the Royals, but I do think, you know, it is quite an achievement what she's done. But that's by the by. That's nothing to do with what we're doing today, is it? So yes, would I recommend you buying this? Yeah, I would. If you want a taste, you know, if you haven't got any of John and Yoko's experimental albums, you know, this is probably the cheapest way of getting into it. The two Virgins ones seems to go for a lot more, even like this reissue on this label. But this one seems to be, at the minute, seems to be quite cheap. So, you know, if it's whetted your appetite, if you haven't got any of these, I would highly recommend that you know, as long as you're not spending, you know, stupid money on them. Like I said, this was 19.99. Will I play it? Don't know, to be honest. Honestly, don't know. I just thought it was nice, and I wasn't paying a lot of money to compare this to that. And out of the two, I would say that is actually the better one. But for something that you're not probably only going to play a handful of times, I know it's. Would you pay £75, or would you pay 20 quid? To be honest, I know that I would love to have the original UK one. I will admit, I would have loved to have the original UK version of that album, Laugh with the Lines, but I wouldn't pay £175 for it. No way. No way. Never in a million years. If I ever see one that's cheap, I will buy it. But and I do mean it would have to be cheap, like less than 50 quid. So, as always, thank you for watching my video. I hope this hasn't been too boring. I just thought it would be nice to compare that reissue with the American pressing that I've got. Like I say, hopefully in the next few days I will be getting a reissue of the wedding album. I have got one up there, it's sealed, and I want to keep it sealed. Again, I was lucky. I just had a look on eBay. Same day I ordered that, to be honest. I've seen one. It hasn't cost me a lot of money. So when that comes, we will do an unboxing of that, and then, like I say, we can compare that. And then you've seen like the original-ish ones, and then you've seen the reissues. So until the next time. Oh, by the way, shout out to everybody that is subscribing and leaving comments and liking my videos. If you've liked this video, which actually this is a bit of a strange video to do, because I don't know if you're going to like this video or not. I hope you have. But if you have liked it, if you're new to the channel, just hit the thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notifications button, then you will get notifications when I'm doing other videos. It doesn't cost you a penny to subscribe, by the way, which I never knew till I started doing them. I always used to think, well, if you subscribe, surely you've got to pay a subscription, but it doesn't mean that in YouTube, to be honest. So like I say, it is free, and anything that's free nowadays has got to be good, even if it's rubbish like this. But you can tell I don't take myself that serious. If, like I say, if you're new to this channel, just check out some of my other videos, because occasionally we do videos on other artists other than the Beatles, although 90% of the time it is the Beatles or Beatles related. So please stay safe, whatever you're doing. So until the next time, it's Beatley Dave from Derbyshire in the UK, wishing you all peace, love and happiness, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheerio for now.